Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle drawings from Zentangle. So, time of this recording, it is Tuesday, the third Tuesday of April, and that means it's Tough Tangle Tuesday. That Tough Tangle Tuesday is a once a month on the third Tuesday sessions that I run, and we just take a look at a tangle that I deem is tough. And tough can mean different things. It can mean that a tangle has a lot of steps. It could mean that it just takes a bit extra focus, or one of them that is not necessarily tough, but tough in the you get eyeball confused real easy, and things like that, or just plain out tough, because there are some that are just plain tough. Today's, I found it tough when it was launched many moons ago, and I really hadn't gone back to look at it. And as I was looking, I always look for inspiration. Something will jump out at me when I'm deciding what tangle are we going to do for whatever session. And just because of a number of other things that going on, I just this one jumped out, and it's like, all right, it's time, let's do it. So we're doing it. Okay, this one, and as you saw in the graphic at the beginning, at the cover of the video or whatever, this one extends out to one side and up and down more than on another side. Now it's going to depend on how you do it, because we had some really gorgeous work. If you are interested in seeing those results, do go to my website. There's a link in the description section. It's on my link tree. Subscribe to my blog, and then when I get that recap post out, you will see it. We had just amazing fun with this, but I just as something to keep in mind. It's like, okay, where do you don't necessarily start it right in the center, because that's not going to work. So I'm going to start it over here. So just like to one side is better. Center-ish is good. I'm going to make it smaller than I think, because I get a little crazy with my S shapes here. All right, so once you have that, it is just a series of S shapes to start off with. And we're going to sort of use the takeoff and land concept. So, and that is, if you don't know, it's where we trace over a little bit. If you think of an airplane, right? You have your runway and then your landing strip. So the takeoff, we take off on the runway. So that's tracing over a little bit of whatever you're coming from, and then the landing, you trace over a little bit of where you're landing. Well, this, we're not really landing on anything, but we're just taking off. So I'm going to do this. It is just an S shape, like that. Okay, and it's plenty okay to come off from that orb, and we're going to do that as we go. So it's a very, very short runway. All right, so, and then I found it way easy. Just turn your tile a little bit, and that way then we have another S shape. And turn your tile a little bit, and another S shape. You see I'm pulling away a little bit. I don't think it's necessary. It still is going to come out cool no matter what, but feel free, if you want to come, pull away from that a little bit, just like so. Okay, and then this last one, like that. Okay? Now, no matter however they end up, it doesn't matter. If you want to add more, feel free. There's a lot of it doesn't matter in Zentangle period, but especially with this one. And let me also say, as if you're tangling along, don't judge it until you're done, because this is one where I'm like, well, there are several, right? I should somehow categorize those, because it might look like a hot mess until you're done, and then once you're done, it's awesome. Okay, now whether you pulled away from the orb or you kept things tight to the orb, it doesn't matter. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do some C shapes in a row that creates a scallop line, right? So, and actually I like to do it from this way. Why? I don't know. I could do it, I think because mini using the curve of the hand, well, actually kind of curving it this way. So what we're going to do is you pick a place over here and we're going to land over here. All right. And then we get this in a right place. I wasn't even looking. I hope you could see the tip of the pen. I always try to check, but then sometimes I get carried away here. All right. So I'm going to start right here. And I'm going to make them wider than I think because I think that looks nicer. Actually, not that it looks nicer. I keep making them too small from the result that I want to have. We'll say it that way because it doesn't matter. All right, so, and then, if you end up extending past this line, of course, you can make them line up. So we're just doing that. Now, same idea, turning the tile. And you can come from whatever place you want. The results change based on where you have this come out from. And see, I overshot it on purpose. And there we go. And then same idea of the takeoff and land. If you trace a little bit over when you're doing something like this, it reduces the little bump. Look at how good that one is. The little bump that can happen. And then same thing for each one. And it doesn't matter how many, of these C shapes you have. Nothing matters. Just that you're doing it and you're having fun. Like that. And I know even right now, I'm just like, look at that. Wow. So cool. Now, let's see. I want to try this a different way than, because then I did it in the samples that I'm going to show you in a minute. That's what I'm thinking, because I can show you the samples and I can talk you through the other. But yeah, on both of these, I decided I didn't do it the way what I had wanted to do, so I'm going to do it here. Okay, and let me explain. So looking at my version of the step out, steps 1 through I think 6. Are essentially this, right? It creates the structure. After that is essentially play or decorate. And you know what? I'll show you now what I did. Okay. So it will explain. So here, and if you're looking at the step out at the same time, and again, links are in the description. I have both my version and then Zentangle's version, and that came from a newsletter. Tied with Icanthus, which I know I've done a video on that one, but that one is also on there and it's a really nice tangle. Okay, so here is from one of the sessions. And so what I did to decorate is I came out with lines. Let me see if I colored this with a light blue here. So this is the initial line. This would be this one, the first one, okay? And what I did, and this is the way we show it in on the step outs, is coming from here, and then what I don't know if I misinterpreted what they had. It doesn't matter. But coming from the orb and then coming down and meeting one of the the peaks right here, right, and then coming down, and then kind of like where it gets off and it's small. Then I just, instead of coming all the way from here and going down, it's just like, yeah, because I would end up tracing over this anyway. So I just came from this line. Same thing here. Now on this one, and I'll show these again at the end just to celebrate. You can see probably a little bit better. Some of my lines got a little wonky. Yeah, so here's one. This one I did a little bit different. And so this is the original line. That's where my finger is right here, okay? And so I did an additional line here, but I went kind of to the middle because one of our gals on the call did this, and I thought it looked so cool. I didn't quite get what she did, but it still looks neat. So I came out here, went to the center-ish, of this section, and then from here, and I just broke it off right from here instead of coming all the way back. And I did the same thing on all of them. So that way I just have one spoke coming down, or, because it kind of looks like veins or whatever. Okay. So that is kind of, And you can see the differences in, you know, it just depends on how you do it. This one I didn't add the little swoosh marks, like I like to call them, on the bottom, because I forgot. And I'm like, well, you know what? I think I might, maybe I'll still add them. It looks kind of cool. It's just interesting. So anyway, I want to share that with you because I want to try this one. Let's try this one a little different. But you do whatever works for you. And what I liked, and this was one of the samples on Zentangle's link, and that was essentially, so thinking backwards, so I'm coming up from these, and I'm just, it helps if they're kind of pointed up. Whatever way they're pointed, you just kind of go with it like that. And so they don't have to go up into the middle. And I'm starting this way because when I was doing it this way, I was going up too far. But this way I can kind of guide this one up. Like that. See, and I have, these are, they're so pointed this way, and that's why I'm trying to just make it work. And I am tracing a little bit over here, you know, and I do have a fix in mind. It just occurred to me. Actually, this one should probably, center one should probably be longer. It should be, but at the same time, does it matter? No. Okay, let's do this. This is a thought. Let's add a little rounding, or a little thickening, a little weight, a little love, as they like to call it, right at the base. So that's a nice course correction. Look at that. You know, some just might be a little heavier than others, but, you know, it's just want to disguise that point a little bit because, like I said, I wasn't thinking, which we shouldn't be necessarily doing, thinking ahead. Oh, well, I should have this aim this way and this aim this way. We in Zentangle, we're not worrying about that kind of thing. All right. And like I said, and just adding weight to the base of anything is something that, it's a tangle enhancer. It's something that we do, and it just looks neat. And as long as you do, you know, whatever happens, as long as you do it consistently in all of those similar sections, it is then just becomes our secret. Shh, don't tell anyone. I just love it. And then, okay, then I'm not looking at it for a second, and I open my eyes and I'm like, oh, look at that. It's almost as cool as when you add shading, you know? Seriously. It all from fixing something. Which is why we say there's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. If, you know, something doesn't go quite right, there's always a way to fix it. And if we just think creatively, use, you know, go over the tangle enhancers in your head, you know, things like that. We can always end up with a Bronx cheer. That is the ultimate course corrector. And if you're not familiar with that, click on my picture down below the video here. Takes you to the channel homepage. Find the search, the little magnifying glass that is probably below my graphic, so that way you can search my channel for Bronx cheer, and you'll see. And if you, I probably explain it in the video if you're not familiar with the Bronx or the Bronx cheer or the raspberries. I think I explained it in there. So anyway, that is so cool, isn't it? All right, now let's do some shading. Okay. Okay, no, I'm tempted to. I've been playing with this 9B pencil, but I'm just gonna stick to basics here. So, a way to shade this. Well, number one, let's see, could be right here, right where they're kind of colliding. Or not colliding, where they gather these lines. And I'm not taking it out too far. yet. And let me find a nice, if I can. Oh, that looks like that has graphite on it. It's fair. It's new. I know I had to grab a new one for something. Okay, and it's still... Okay, let's just spread it out a little bit. Oops. All right. Like, which way's up? There is no way up. This way, kind of. That's neat, yes? Okay, now, let's see if I can be just as careful. Fingers crossed. All right, and on this, I'm calling it the underside. It's like on the right side of the lines. You can do whatever, however you see fit. Doing the shading, is fine. I'm just giving you a way to do it. Oh, I guess I better do it there too. Now, as I'm telling myself, boy, it really would have been helpful had let's just shade these out a little bit, or we'll use the Tortillion. Had I made them a little bit wider, that's always helpful. Oh, but it works. Look at that. It's good to have a nice supply of, it's like I use the Tortillons until they are literally falling apart. I know some people hate it when you use the word literally, but truly. I think I finally got rid of that one. Either that or it's hiding. I mean, the paint, even down here, it was just disintegrating. It's so sad. Almost like this one, but not quite. Well, let's just look just for a minute, because this is also fun. Just, some shading, some not. It's just so neat. Oh, I didn't put those little swoosh marks in. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see. It might end up looking nice with them in there. All right. It could probably take this shading all the way up. I'm not sure yet. But nice to have, just, always having, some new Tortillons, just so you have something that has a fun tip. Maybe keeping one as new as possible. Like, don't use it a whole lot, so that way it can be used for when you need it. And then like this one is. I think I was using the 9B on this one, so I'm going to be really careful, because there's a lot of graphite on there. Yeah, I think I kind of like it having the graphite coming all the way down, because then it looks like more like layers. But you can always play like this with the level of the amount of gray that you have. So it could be heavier here, thin, lighter here type of thing. I'm just picturing. Let's just do it. So it's just a little curve line. It just adds something. It really does. And again, taking a look at Zentangle's step out, I mean, besides seeing the really neat examples, looking at the examples, and then it seemed like in their last step there were a lot of other, besides all of essentially it was like this, but it was adding here, they added some extra lines up in here, and that's kind of one of those things that you just get to decide. All right, filling in solid or not? I'm gonna opt for not. Let's just put a little C shape. Well, let's see. Let's go like that, same direction. So neat. So neat. All right. I think that's it on it. There's just a lot of options and a lot of play that you can have. And whatever you end up doing is going to be gorgeous. Just, my friend Diane says, if you're not happy with it, it just means you're not done. And when I was doing this one, I was like, oh, I don't know. And somebody quoted Diane on there, and it's just like, okay, I know, that's right. If it's, I used a different paper on this, so and water, because I used some tinted graphite pencils because I decided I wanted to play with them, and then added water to it, so it's still a little bendy. Really cute, yes. All right. What a neat tangle this is. And I'm so happy that I played with it. And it's like, okay, I got it. Sometimes, too, if there's a tangle that just frustrates you don't give it, don't worry about it for a little while. Come back to it later. Because sometimes, things end up making sense later. Oh, now I wish I had used... All right, you know what? Oh, wait. Let me change position. Okay, this is a test. Yes. Okay. Oh, no. Never mind. Maybe not so much of a test. All right. You see the shiny from the graphite, right? Well, Mama just got me some matte graphite pencils. And look you don't see the shine. I did use it right here, but then I covered it with the other. Look at that. No shine. Whoa. Okay. So, very cool. Sorry, enabler alert. That's what, if you've not been on any of our calls, that's what we call them. Whenever we talk about new things. Here it is. Faber-Castell. Matte. You can even see in the tip, right? This is the 9B. And what do we have here? Oh, there's no 9B here. It goes from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. But, there we go. Okay, so, disclaimer, not sponsored by them, but although, actually, no, if you sort of sponsor, I have a link in my link tree to Dick Blick, and I get a little something if you shop through there. So there we go. Okay, so somewhat, sort of, kind of, I imagine that they carry them. Not officially sponsored, just, there's that. All right. I think that's it. Enough playing. Well, no. I take that back. There's never enough time for playing. All right. But we will end this. All right. I've mentioned all of the description stuff, or most of it. If you've enjoyed this, please click the like button. If you liked it enough to see more, please click to subscribe. I do want to highlight, I mentioned the class. If you too would like to take part in this kind of fun, join us. Information is on my link tree. If you can't find it, put a comment in the comments here, or I believe my email is on the link tree also. And if you would like to be part of an amazing community of tanglers and have a nice safe space to share your work and just, I don't know, what are the words that I want to use? Explore tangling further, take it to the next level or whatever. Just, we like to just have fun with tangling. We understand it's a journey. It's not a destination. It's not about creating some kind of masterpiece. It's about, how do you turn something that's looking like a hot mess? And, look, that doesn't look so bad. And, and we just, and like I said, it's a really great group of people. Come and join us. The link, if you're on Facebook, link is in the link tree. There are 4 questions that you must answer in order to gain entry. And that's it. So there's that. Links to the class information. I sort of mentioned that. That's both on my website, as well as there's some separate links there. This was a free session. A lot of mine are free. I do have some that are paid, but this is one of the free ones. All right. So with that, thank you so much for watching. And I wish you happy tangling.